for connect if we up I but Apple Store not download the Top Connect Apple Cra Top Connect you know so and a H Top Connect na everyone so man yeah 442-081-160 447-950 Fesika mani wa dofwa sunji unchia kapre yensu ye
air conditioner na so dam air conditioning no crane farm na me wa odamo everywhere drew me check ya din you every in this condition great now for the your body will fee and now gas na san the and now bia ye be ba ye the amount retire mo be sit down e wo my free you can live air conditioning for 8 to I just 43 and 0302 0627 site no dot everything called enterprise now
Michel na menyu ba bezi to ho nkomo dem kakra na yakoto fa wo bohwe chapter ya menyu ba bezi ma to kope enti mesraw de to na eza ma chairman akwa bo United Kingdom na de yamia aya Roland dem wa fe inum foso benyi NDC ni mo wo sekasa bia bra fe bi kaka of ibisu nyi de member biara immigration na establish impenyum fats na hona wa biara oyam amo impo se pelo yenyi bi na we gina na wa kasen bi amo wo United ana Ireland fi wo mutum we gina ma krebi wa bo no ya those no so be enu na I wanna photo wo amount for this nara boom dem be biara de oye bibiara bo no why ko tuesi kakafo bi no wa mana akona na welfare ana biara oba no oba na what the way program wa kodo no na ahom ka program bonus by United Kingdom na Ireland no munsam kakra na me putu hu za chi odobabaji na wada £400 welfare program na ya tabbatar a bakin Allah ya maka dalilin Allah ya maka dalili ka biya wannan kudi. Bayan haka kuma dukkan memba da ke neman wani taimako sha'anin batun takardun shi ko wurin zama ya ajiye manya da lauyoyi da kowane lokaci kake neman advice ko kake neman wani lawyer da zai taimaka maka akan batun sha'anin zamanka a ƙasar United Kingdom, shi kuma su bi bayan ka su taimaka maka su saya maka ka biya wani abu kadan da yake in ka je waje zaka doki lawyer ba da ka same shi haka nan ba. Muna rokonka member NDC da ke United Kingdom ko Ireland in lokacin vote ya kai ka vote ka ba Chairman Akwa, shi kare ne wanda yake zai taimaka ma fatin mu a lokacin da muke ciki. Wannan shine sanarwa ko wannan shine abin da muke roko ku taimaka mishi, Allah kuma ya taimaka mu duka gaba daya, Allah ba mu nasara. Mun gode muku da kuka saurare mu. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
of diaspora, we go vote for Doctor. Doctor Joanne Royal. Oh, Pepati, no, yeah, mistake. Vote for Doctor. Doctor Joanne Royal. Doctor Joe Ajiman, man of peace. Doctor Joanne Royal.
Right. Good evening and welcome to NFM Radio. Another beautiful Monday. It is the Monday, the Easter part, the Easter, period, and everybody, or many people are Eastering, especially the Christian fraternity. They are Eastering, and we will join them, help them to Easter. Because when the holiday comes, it comes for everybody. Once again, we got to gather here, meet here, and discuss things that is going on in Ghana politics. As we speak, the parliament, I know, has gone on recess. They've gone home to relax, to rest, after heaping loads of taxes on Ghanaians. The parliamentarians have gone home. People are praying that maybe they never come back, because anytime they come, Ghanaians get nothing but more taxes and more suffering. So I'm with Ghanaians who are praying that the what do we call them? That those parliamentarians stay where they are. They shouldn't come back to parliament again. You see what I mean? Tonight is all about the IMF, is it? Yeah. Yeah, it is all about the IMF. Why the IMF is being so difficult? The IMF is not playing ball. Why? What have we done so much What has Ghana done that the IMF is rather being that difficult? It's not fair. IMF should play ball. Let Ghanaians be free small. After all, it is the Ghanaian elites, the political elites, the leadership. They have chopped all the monies. The ordinary Ghanaian, the average Ghanaian, who are plenty more than 25 million, they are not to blame. So kindly, IMF, we are begging you to once again, after the 17th or 18th time after independence, you need guasi poto. Osaje fusi ya yembo ye brana ka ya yemfa esika hwe ho. Ena ye Jimmy ya na ye tu osaje fu fi ho. Ya ko 17th jema 18 times in here. Enti IMF for ye pamucho. Please play ball. Please play ball. Play ball. Ma ye ho entoy kakra. Let me go for one of my. Okay, no. Let me rather go for these messages. Those guys who have lost their monies and they keep pleading to Akufo-Addo to release their monies. Let's go and listen to them.
Nanado, your friend Matheson, Sunyane Namiwo. Makotena awonu Holland. Ako Sam in Fifure. Sika kakra minya yeno. Me diaba mia me maimu Ghana. Diaba beto registered bank. Eye JN Bank yi. President Nanado ube TV so beka kire Ghana for say JN Bank anye n'edwuma yi ti waje bank ne licenses no wo the customers ni sika be mo 3 years mu ni Mansa kan mi sika kakre ka ye no so 550 million me dia kwa akoto commercial bank na me di say commercial bank de me di sika akoto ho a e save President Nanado Enam IMF Bosiana wokwa koboninti. Osimimi sika 550 million na odi akwa koye adwuma nya interest wo so no. Once the Quran umfa mame. Mi sika trene no so. Ose umfa mame. Jese 2024. Na sika no interest ketuwa no a menya no. Obema mi mu 5%. Menya adwuma wo Ghana. Mintimi so enko Holland se me koye adwuma mimfia ko animu kakra kwan ben so na mefa so a me ne meyire ne memma yibedidi Mr President mesro se memma se me be street carefree ho mia misika makosam infifre enya no mesro se obema mensa aka obi bia obi tie saa me audio me recording yi bi no mesro se mo de beto mo platform so ebetimi afa so ma President Nanado nensa aka when Yamasini yibi etiye. Ghana paying for Mesremo so set money President Nanado Bekasa Mame. Medamase.
Good morning, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Ono pay mi bano boko. Midin the ASP retired Franklin Nati. Mesun Ghana ewo police mu 24 plus years. Na mi gratuity a Mansa kano milito bond 2 years. Aka 1 year this year September. Aye 2023 na mi bond no amateur. Wu adwina wudi ba ye say wakoboka ana wa bugana abofom enti me brama bre sika medito bond no commercial bank no onfa mame we enye amroba ene ebe chimiji misika o oman panyi a ya tu abama no se onhwe yeso Emra ufru playing 18,000 pounds an hour. Nkrofo kachreo. Wante. Emra ufa so many ministers se omunu na oni omu betumi aye adwuma. Nkrofo kachreo. Wante. Ene your incompetence Inti me bre ama bre. Ah, me di sika. Ah, ye di tua me ka se gratuity. Me fa hwe me ho so no. Usi wafa. This is 2033. Se mi manum na upese omumbeji sika na minana no mo a minim. President, wani diemu misrew. Unuana ni bank edi enim eji loans no mfaso a wanya no misrew mano fansa mfaso no ekutu sika no mesika no mfa mame nanado utrimu ye din papa obi a maye juma Ghana mra kire se 24 years plus no yentu ameka as a retired officer no usi untu ameka menya 60 years ye nanado misrew mibisa wo. Have you been a civil servant in Ghana before? Have you worked as a civil servant? Please. Nanado. Mimpese. Mbe kasatiao. Mimpese mbe dumi usu eni ubusiya derbi. Midi yao esreo. Tise na Mr. Matheson. Efri sunyani esreo no. Jai misika mami. Midin di ASP Franklin Kwesi Nate. Mi tome bon wo commercial bank. It was Accra North branch. Please, I beg you, in the name of God, don't touch my money. Don't touch my money. Don't touch my money. Anybody who receives this, please send it to as many platforms for Nana Adodanko Akufo-Addo to see, to hear, and to see. Or his cousin Ken Oforiatta should hear. Please, 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 Nanado, I'm not supposed to beg you. Because when you were begging that you should be tried, I remember traveling from Kumasi to Kofrodua to vote for you 2016, thinking you are bringing something on board. I regretted it. I have regretted all my life. Some friends told me, Anka unya accident or question na uya. Well, Nanado, please, whoever received this message, forward it to as many platforms. Let Nanado hear me and ensure I have my money. Thank you.
What's name wacha? Mama inji 2 years. Says here the fear be 2 years. I want them. What's name? What's name 2 years? We are 2 years account. Says here no. Sir, dan someone has said per se. Open single room. Open single room. Says here no puta 600. Unkuta 500. Unkuta 700, 800. Nya dying. Says here agent for agent 100 CDs for viewing fee, and I say 80 Ghana for viewing fee. Just show you the room. Says here if you're a for beer, the Omodayam agent for Uchia 9,600. Also Uchia agent 900, 600, 900 and almost 1,000 CDs. Why? Says here you to the end day. Why? Like why? What? Like why? Hey, like it's serious. Say, Matsna demo 2 years. I'm paying 8,000. Now I'm supposed to pay 9,600. And you're taking the 2 years. You take 1 year and put. Because you see me engine 6 months in 1 year. Say there we hear Juma me feara. Uba boa no busumi pay a the amount. Say 600 or say 700. You have to eat only small one a pay because a whole month no pay. And see back on one by a day. Uma should be you. Woman should be or my one penny for Monka once a machine. Now, youth for the air, Brenna, ye kum anyhow. A direct in tea, ye begging pontino, Ubacoma ye kum. Bobacoma ye kum to you to ye bren moon. A dancing air queen. A day. How? Ghana, ye ble papa. A day. And then fear walking in and catch a person. Me patron me pedime or because of agents viewing fees or do coach said them or bet you 80 cities and now say 100 cities. And then dance so man dying who could have 600. Oh, no single room name. Or do 2 years, 600 cities, 2 years. Because of that, into the old thing with that or no person or two. Now or do a for a show on what 600, what 500. That they would turn into a person who 2 years. At the moon come shame my and say youth in the year bread. Yea, a better a bone, ye ask me to a back. I make a very influence in crop for a
So basically what you have there are you have communication specialists, directors of communications, deputy directors of communications, technical communication assistants, media aides, media liaison officers, communication consultants, presidential advisor on media who has a technical director to the presidential advisor. Then you have the ministers of state at the presidency.
And these guys are there for information minister.
Yes.
No, go to that list again. Just on the communication side.
There's a lot to communicate.
Stop it.
I'm just telling you.
You have information minister who's cabinet level.
Who has ISD working for him too.
And then you're having all these guys working under the presidency.
Who work under communications directorate. Yeah.
Of the presidency.
Yeah. There's a lot to communicate.
You can't be serious.
I'm just telling you there's a lot to communicate. So
and what are the conditions of service of these people?
Nobody knows. That's the issue.
That's why the transparency is not. So if I'm a lecturer in Legon and I've been teaching for 15 years, right? And I struggle to get my PhD. And then you have somebody who is a technical director to something, who has access to fuel. Read the letter they wrote. They said their fuel thing is not gone up. So this technical director, what's the competence, what's the qualification of somebody to do this work? So if we are not transparent, and I'm saying that this is mathematics, this one is not sentiment. If the government wants the pressure from the labor unions to go down, and they want to, and if they want a credible plan for IMF to, if the plan is not credible, see, if people don't accept the plan, it's not credible. If the labor unions, the businesses don't accept the policy, the IMF will not accept it. So if they will not be transparent with these guys and say, this is what we are doing, I can't understand why you have all these guys working and what are they doing? You said they have a lot to communicate. What are they communicating?
I'm just telling you. But if what would be the justification for
look at
directors of communications?
Mention the mention the post again. Mention the thing again.
So the directors of communications.
How many directors of communication?
Yes, 4.
4 directors of communication, and then deputy director of communication.
There are 5 deputy directors
at the presidency.
Yes.
And then which one again?
2 communication specialists.
So the director is not a specialist. Okay, the specialist below.
There's a lot to communicate.
2 communication specialists and
2
then
communication officers. 5 technical communication assistants.
So you have 4, 5, 9, 6, 7 plus 3, 10, 15.
Media aid.
How many?
1.
Media aid.
Assistant media liaison officer.
17.
Communication consultant.
18.
Then there's a presidential advisor on media.
Charlie, are you sure you are not joking? Are you sure? What are you? What is not joking? What are you saying? No.
Of all the positions,
guys, let's go through this again. Let's go through this thing again. I want to be sure. And sorry if we are picking.
Sana bibinitie. Bibini ya kan sana bibinitie. Sa wa wote wo man so wo nhyehyɛ wo man mu. Wa sase so. Ghana na a vice president of America Ghana ntino yan hyehyɛ security apparatus yan hyehyɛ de agu akwan mu sɛ wo ye obi a wo Ghana anko ade a nhyehyɛ ni sei ni diso no American president Ghana hentino yan ye security na wo kotoka no yama mo do mo nsegu o mo chi te sɛ KG2 form budget tofe awade ana America for na chichiro mo nsegu o mo chi na o mo search Ghana security na wo kotoka no because ye nimu ye ho so hwe ye nimu hweye Ye Jimmy wo yanya ye kurom. San America for ne catching. Now she said the almost search Ghana security. I was yanya ye kurom because Vice President of America Bagana. I could for the bet me acquire America. How dare Kufuado say Kufuado ko UK, US. Now Kufuado security for Dinachi. Now you do UK airports. Friends say Heathrow, why no? Or do Heathrow? Hey, Heathrow for him. Muma Ghana security for ne search Heathrow for you for no. No more hustle. We okay. Sana me Kufuado me UK. Na kasotwa komba bonu UK wo kran sana yen sakra asa kan wo Ghana ha no kade besi na yatie mamu eh rade me ra ho me to nyame na me hu video no me hu samanfo kaba na me hu video no na just slave re de bibini be koso e slave ko si da ban no me de man no wasa me ka to say obi a de bia no uga no ko no kope mua no je opeso ye opeso ye obi ode ye o eno an ye hu bibini nya na adwen so be bibia mo atiri mo den pese me nkominya obi afum me ba me be digi no akọ me ba me ese no akonti bibini ukrom nya eti broni ba ukrom oda so hu sa wo ya dwe de opa no de ye wo wa ukrom ba wo de ekoso wo nya ye ukrom onyuni ene na ehia ne say so no be ka 1212 bi nto oba no kra no wo beto airport na obeto oni nipa mu jejo ohum say ne nto oba no ne boys dinachi no ba wa be ka wo de na gumram na wo say chwom say omo ye okay kra so mu gina ho e wo wa ukrom ono ne wo be kasa no ha o ye Ghana ni amaren wate maren ho e wo mu say yentimi ni America nya pesisi a eye no kore obi a wo ya normal bia wo ni true but any me bi wo ho a na che se bibini de na che se de ni future ni vision bia bibini be ko so ya kwasa oh ye jimi dodo masa hwe de ekoso hwe America ni na ono aba me kurom no hwe ni aka e friend saying kotokafo ne nse go moje obi papa opeja ne motwom se broni en check no obi aya to owo Ghana no script hwe de ekoso me amem hwe ye bo dia no aba next brand answer cho e wo Ghana ho omuwi na maame ne besen Juan Harris no oba ne me president abedi nkomo o miami krom enkomo kro de ba kra esa me gituma na me nyituma na o miami nsem obesre se opan bicho mami metie a friend send for breaks for asem na me meka western ayi for no ho na omuni eme hyehyɛ enye yi one me obepa me cho se entutua bi na ode betum anim me ntiase Ghana for ye ntiase ne meka omo ho ono ne bai na obi ono me beka asem abepa me cho omi krom se ye ntiase ne hyewe ma enkoka China ne Russia for no ye meka omo ho no hwede ono kro ba me krom o ya me onjimi ni come security for answer go machi because me dey here me pe 5 cedi ane ho na me baji bi me pe 2000 ane ho na me baji bi me de ne ka me ntuae enre mo ka mo nse wo machi ne search mo ansa ne mo president abekasa e wo kotoka ha ya na bi oh eradi yankopon mi am kuro mo he ya pa mo mafru ho ana US for ne gina ho Shana Ghana ni bi antuni na nsia sa no mo ka kiro mo hwe na Ghana ni secret bi antuni na nsia e free na ko se ansa ne be free ano mo djuma no mo ho te ansa ye nya ne ye asama me kan enye movie onye movie scene na wo he no asama akoso ne ne nre ya obi na akopa bench bi so atena wachiri ono he.
We have to start with the war in Ukraine. It affects us all, but your position, I would say, it's not exactly as the position of the US government.
My position is this war could end soon, even right away, on the basis of reasonable negotiation.
Right. So, Ovika, where the mukotie kakra. A brand bi a wo Ghana de ne blog ne blogging as a vlogging abeto Facebook na otumu se a brand no ne nia brain na asam no kano bakukura ni wa metumi agine chimkura. I mean, there's nothing that this young man have said that I will argue with, because when you find yourself that your state security apparatus, the gentlemen, they are all men anyway, the personnel at your state security, the top higher security, are laughing and showing their teeth, very happy to be searched by a foreigner on his own land, in our own land, Ghana. Let's just say, it is sad. Hey, last I was saying something. Look, the point is, okay, the Americans are the superior ones, right? So, okay, fine. These things, they don't even do it. I mean, you don't have to do it in public, Anna. You don't have to do it in public. If it was in the four walls of the security, like a BNI or whatever they call it today, if it was in their yard, nice and quiet, no cameras, nothing, okay, maybe I understand. But on the in the broad daylight at the Kotoka, or I want to call it Accra International Airport, the VIP session, right? The state protocol session. And the Ghana security people, Musa, and your way, and the year said you fair, na me na we no any will be sad, you will be an person because we shall won't quampo no shall hold them no. Now offering no new. Oh, because Nina said, ye near by papa a bine Jimmy, Nipa womuswe Jimmy, and crack. That's the fact. Because a number of way are French speaking countries in Africa. French for Siomo. Afene Kufuado say Empire and Tuman Kobo French for and Tumano. We'll come there in due course. Let's take a breather with my music. Welcome back. If you just tune in, well, this is the program NFM Radio is a radio station. And the voice you are listening to is that of Mansa Musa, the one and the only Mansa Musa. If you want to come and talk to me, if you want to join the discussion, all what you got to do is to ring 0208-123-5911 or 07876-251-261. And straight away, you'll be here to talk to me. We are talking about the way, the governance. The main topic for tonight is that why is the IMF so difficult on Ghana? I mean, what else do we have to do? What else should Akufo-Addo do? Because, look, I will tell you something. Akufo-Addo and his people have done plenty at the suffering of Ghanaians. They have done plenty. And the people suffering are the average, ordinary Ghanaians. So IMF, we will come there. But let's go and listen to this man. Let's see. I think this man is a Kenyan or is a Ugandan. What he said about America coming to what do we call it, Africa, to come and tell us that we should join the democracy and that, in a sense, join Americans. Let's listen to this gentleman a little bit. Na ibabe twaso.
today is coming to Africa to teach us about democracy.
Let's go back. We didn't hear half of it. Okay.
A country that was opposed to our liberation, a country that supported colonial regimes, the apartheid regime in South Africa, the white racist minority regime in Zimbabwe, now Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe, the Portuguese colonial governments in Mozambique, in Angola, in Guinea-Bissau, and Cape Verde. Today is coming to Africa to teach us about democracy. A country that has toppled so many governments in Africa, that has led so many coups in Africa and other parts of the world, a country that has killed so many of our leaders in Africa and other parts of the world, the killers of Patrice Lumumba, those who toppled Kwame Nkrumah, those who killed Nasa, those who killed Muammar Gaddafi, today are coming to teach us about democracy.
You see, many African people, leaders, and for the African people, we have been like this for a while, for a long time. We've known that the Western propaganda machine is always, going overdrive to indoctrinate, to engineer our brains so that we always follow them like zombies. Our leaders, though, because of their stealing, their wickedness, because of their selfishness, our leaders don't give a damn. They follow the American hegemony and serve them all right. So many leaders in Africa, just like the late 50s and early 60s and 70s, now they've come back, they are coming to form. They've realized that we need to let the rest of everybody know where we stand. And where we stand is what this gentleman from Uganda addressing a gathering in China was saying. That a country that has done so much harm to the continent of Africa, a country that has done so much harm, I repeat, I don't care if you're able to get a green visa, go to America, then later you get some money, go and build a house in Ghana, so you think that is something that is unheard of, something so good, so we don't have to criticize. You are a fool. A country that has denied us of our freedoms, a country that just the country that capitalized on the ignorance of our forefathers to shift millions of Africans, some to their death, all the way to the Americans to go and perform cheap labor, to go and work the canes, work their farms, tend to their cattle and everything for free, and sex for free as well. Those days, the white masters, whenever they need sex, is free. A country built on the backs, the suffering, the blood and toil of black Africans. Today, it's true, they are coming back to Africa again to tell us that, oh, democracy is very good indeed, to teach us. And some African leadership, some elites want to stand firm and steady to tell the West, America and its people that, look, yes, we have to trade. Yes, we have to learn how to do medicines and everything and other things. But no to subjugation. No to neocolonialism. No to the fact that you guys don't want us to develop industrially, to develop scientifically with technology so that we can start producing our own. I have a video clip. A woman who knew Nkrumah very well, a white lady who knew Nkrumah very, very well. she spoke and he said, Nkrumah's 2 books, one of them, Africa Must Unite, that was one of the most serious books that have been written by Africa, and that's what made the Americans started thinking, no, we got to get rid of this man. Africa Must Unite, that book. So let me just let you know that some leaders in Africa, they've realized that we have to go back to basics. That enya fe ena Akufo-Addo di enim edi akoshe America fo nsa, because we disikani nyina oni nebusuafo ewie sikani nyina akoshe bibi basa ubusa obia ye ntimi mbu nkunta papa omaya ye timu a oman na kasa mu oman na kasa omo auditor general tumi kase sikam pim ye hu baby ewo na president ni nenam o pesila o pebusia emfa ne ho on kase hey mu ehwehwe baby asika ne wo president ni nenam still he is looking for loans left, right and center emfa ne ho. And odi ene nam na why na adwin say odi e ba kwehye enkwasom colonialism, sorry for my fumbling, the neo-colonialism. Someone today said I write better than I speak, you mate. That in Nkrumah, the neo-colonialism Nkrumah talk about, Akufo-Addo want to take us back. The fact is, if there's any example that there's any country that was submissive and submitted their sovereignty to America and Britain, they became better. If you can show me one, then I'll say, okay, all right, I'll eat my pride. Let's give ourselves to them. Can anyone show me one particular country that went submissive, gave their national sovereignty and gave it to the Americans and Britain and France, and they became better? Show me one. Don't talk about Germany and don't talk about what do we call it, South Korea or Japan. Those people worked their butt out. They submitted their world view or their what do we call it, their geopolitics to become to be under the umbrella of the American hegemony. That's fine, but in their own way they competed in science and technology and everything, and the Americans or the British couldn't suppress that. We can be under the regime of America and Britain and France for 100 years. We will still be a third world country, I tell you. So now that most of the African elite, African penny-four, a soldier for politicians, obie line say Westerners no mu sisi Westerners no sisi almost ignorance ne so, lack of capacity a be dwen say ade bi hye fom wo asase mu a ye de bibie ye sadia no. If you cannot use it yourself and you want to give it to somebody, you must give it at a high cost. If you have gold, if you have other minerals, other serious, other very serious minerals under the earth in your country, and you cannot use it scientifically, someone who wants to have that, you should give it to them only at a high price. But we give it to them at a very, very pathetic low price and still remain poverty-stricken. We still remain poor and go about begging. Like I said, we waste so much money. Akufo-Addo and his government have wasted so much money. We have an instance where the Auditor General even spoke. I remember that journalist, Kevin Taylor, once spoke about the fact that some monies that were supposed to go from the Bank of the Ghana Commercial Bank to the Bank of Ghana. Within that distance, the money got missing, nowhere to be found. Up to today, nobody is asking for the whereabouts of those monies. And we are going around borrowing. Today, somebody told me, my brother, unless one day there's a change of government and we start to scrutinize things properly. He said, Mansa Musa, do you know who knows what this commercial, what we call the private jet that Akufo-Addo was going up and down with? Who knows what they were carrying or ferrying in and out of Ghana? Who knows? Who knows what was being carried away? In a country of so much natural riches, we go about borrowing. I read recently about 100 or 200 million, some tens of millions of dollars Akufo-Addo and his people wanted to borrow, and according to Honorable Ablakwa, the parliament thwarted that arrangement, and they stopped Ghana from borrowing again. So I'm talking this, I'll come to the issue of why we are still stuck with this IMF and we are not even getting any deal, if that can be called a deal. Osagyefo wanted us to live by our means within our means. Immediately Osagyefo was overthrown, we had to go the first IMF, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. So I do 18 and today the IMF is being described as a good. We will win. Akufo-Addo's government just said it's a deal. Somebody told me today, it's a Mansa Musa, that private jet that was going up and down, so that private jet now, Akufo-Addo now, or the atrenche, or say, who knows what they were carrying? It's only when the apotro, the aponchreni, the frog, the toad, it's only when that thing dies, then its true length will manifest. Yes, aponchreni ana apotro owua eni ebehu ne tinting. I don't know how to say this one in Gonja or in Dagomba, or you see, I wish I knew. But the situation is so sad. It is so sad, it's so bad. Ghana as it is, at the moment, we don't have the intellectual capacity. When I say the intellectual capacity, I'm not talking about a few in parliament, a few voices here and there. I'm talking about the overwhelming intellectual capacity. Because the people in a country that boast of massive intellectual capacity, those countries are binding to me in Jimisa. In those countries like UK here, even the newspaper that will support the government, that's a finance minister, no, or puto basa. They support the newspaper that is supporting the government will point out, hey, this guy got to go. Because the people, if you go to one newspaper, almost everybody there is top grade, top class. If you go to television or radio, everybody is top grade, top class, like me, Mansa Musa. It's only in Ghana that Frefrekobo abetna ho country ka santi ka fanti obia so a presenter na obi tumi trouble fuka krebia or ye news ye editor ni ade no mo keka ko they haven't got the capacity. And the capacity comes to with your ability to command your own revenue. So unim ni awo na we ejuma GBC ana Daily Graphic ana Daily Times ana newspaper bi na wa ukura ukese sika na edi ma sudi etimi di twelve dan can out me the tall dan e the tall car bibia utiwa, then you can talk. But when the people who employ you know that you don't know, as they say, F all, fuck all, you don't know nothing, and you are just, they are doing you a favor. So when you are uti one, won't me carry, wouldn't him crown me car, we don't have that capacity. Nenka finance minister MP on one kasani party mu MP say aya akwe kuye or say niama. The NPP MPs na kasa tena ho etiti omo constituency a omo titi can the oye the ogu enimu asio adena kan yes especially the Ashanti group omo nyina ti say their constituencies were complaining that this finance minister is not good, that is not fit for purpose. And the MPs themselves came up water. Say, hey, can I forget that president, you need free war? When you need free war, Chale, Obabe Kane, ne your friends saying, ne ready the budget, I am a boycott. When this happened, Mansa Musa and other people, we were, not that we were happy, but at least we were relieved that for once, MPs, you know, and we say, Kenofurata and Yentino, almost on qua. They were not saying that because they want the NDC to bring someone. They want maybe their own somebody else, but they want a change. They wanted a change. And we were, some of us applauded them there. Okay, so Sana Modri and my idea, the president should see to it that that change will come about. Akufo-Addo say the parliamentarians, you know, they were agitating. They wanted a change. In the popo, the nakoko popo, or Chanania, or who the picture be no I think because the MPs have got the, as they say, the temerity. They've got the balls to complain. Akufo-Addo, whatever strategy, tactics he used. Let's go for a commercial break. We will come and we will continue.
Let me go straight to the point. We will find wada. Once the attacker and same business, so your work can see come air conditioner, and also dumb air conditioning, and set up more can see no crane say. One funny papa madam installation now mountia. With everything called enterprise, air conditioning installation at the Mawa, Udamo, a Rubia, Okanu, a never cold room, it's a cold stores, and a Bavia, you didn't see I was saying you know everything called enterprise. You have a nice one at your Mawa, a Rubia, no, but you you install central air conditioning, split air conditioning, car air conditioning, never solar panels also. You want a nice Edemawa, or you be a busu straight, not to your body will fee. So, what do you say? And our gas in a sense, say you'll come with the Anafia dear, and our coast store dear. Nina, a very nice and quick, but we will be a yet the amount. Also, more rich, I'm always sit down and make anyone open to me afraid you can lie with so. You may install air conditioning, Ibiamamu. Try +44 7508 650276. Wager adjacent Ghana Fire Service. Wow, France 0544 489 343 and 0302 906 276. Your website, you know, everythingcode.org, and I send you email kjamwako@yahoo.co.uk. Everything Code Enterprise. Air conditioning, master, no.
Say dear, yenam top connect so e mani sika de bagana if we yasia fana nyina yenchia kapre ane aye free top connect amasika mani ayem rekra ye hu hia ne se wo be download with top connect app no e Play Store diama wo Android phone and as we use iPhone so or Apple Store na download the top connect aye simple kra top connect wa manda radio num so wo Europe North America and Asia wo mane wo dofu sika fa top connect so aye ntem na emre na mawa hoto so sese die sika manye di foforo kra any top connect so we yan chechemu bia fra top connect our +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe top connect our Belfont interfidie nyina so top connect Fesika mani wa dofwa sunjemu a unchia kapre top connect yensu ye dienye.
Welcome back to NFM Radio with me, Mansa Musa here, sitting right on the captain's bridge. Oh, my something. Okay, let's see. The signal tells me that the battery in the system is gone low, so I got to change the battery. Anyway, I will change the battery very soon, but let's continue. For those of you watching the, YouTube, surely you see a battery change. A battery has changed. Okay, I will change it myself later. Anyway, you are listening to Mansa Musa, and the program is Fire Will Burn You. Right. So, hey, Ghana pa just say, "What I want to ask you." And Nemre me say, and Nemre aye womi. We don't need say your president. Obesan edi akọ enkuasumu the entia make sano a make otwi mo bia ati ase and any say there is not a single third world country where can say omodi hokobo America for no omodi share America for nsano they became better. I don't know if you can show me one in Africa, or because if there was any example it should have come from Liberia. Because I better for more independence from free America hono almost chese obia and almost almost for 100 or so years, now they were just Americans. Almost Bia America, but look at Liberia. So just here, if you understand what I mean. Instead of us to get a proper leader, a leader who do not necessarily have to stand square and be insulting America or anything. No. But a leader who will look, into the eyes of anybody at all, especially white people, and tell them, look, for a long time, we have, maintained and remained, second fiddle to you guys. One, it is not good for our humanity. And two, we aren't getting anything anyway. So please, you can't come and tell us about democracy, or you can't just come in and say, we'll give you a loan, is it 20 million or so for about 4 or 5 countries, I don't know how much. We'll give you that loan or that money, that grant, and so you should follow us. Because the whole of this year, the money we have wasted will be about 5 or 10 times what America wants to give us. The money wasted. You see, I'm talking all this because I'm trying to say and understand. And if you listening to me understand or know why the IMF is being so difficult. Because let me say something. Ghana for say po. Ya to me. You see what I mean? Ghanaians have done since, from 2020, 21, 22, all those, the taxes. Before 2020, the taxes that Ghanaians were paying. Then after 2020 election, more taxes just to balance the books. So more and more and more. And as a Mube Kaya, we had this something called e-levy. This e-levy, for about a few months, 2-3 months, not the confusion The NDC, MPP spokesperson were going around saying this is the what we call the magic wand. This is the talisman. This is what will make our suffering go. If we are able to do the e-levy, we will get Sikama to borrow the words of John Bwedu. Ejuma bebuama yakra amananifo emoma beye ejuma no. So we were promised that we will get so much money that, you know, our suffering will be a thing of the past. That's what we were promised. People who had brains and foresight, like me, Mansa, Musa, argued that the model itself, the e-levy itself, will rather, you know, diminish the ability for people to trade. It was going to hamper trade and commerce and business. Some of us knew. I said that, look, if someone is paying taxes on goods and services already, now, if he's going to use his mobile system to pay for the goods and services that he has paid tax on it already, that means it's double or triple tax. And so when the goods or services arrive, he must calculate and put that tax on top of, you know, the prices, you know, to balance his what you call cost and expenditure, at least to make some small profit. So it was a difficult thing. It was wrong to tax somebody who is sending 1,000 cedis to go and buy something. The thing is buying, he has paid tax on it already. The money he's using to buy, he's paying tax on the money too. That I knew would bring disaster. Even now, they said from the beginning, many people decided to opt out. He decided not to take part. Decided to do away, with the system that will involve they being in the e-levy system, right, in the e-levy bracket. But even today, with more people getting involved, they are all fed up, okay, let's do it anyway. Still, it is not enough. And still, we don't even know where those monies go. We don't know. So they're all magical, all, the drug or the medicine that could cure everything, all economic woes, e-levy was going to cure it. E-levy was going to build more schools for JSS and the CSSs. Then e-levy was going to bring more employment. E-levy was going to build more roads and bridges. The promises. You see, this is a government devoid of any respect, completely devoid of respect for Ghanaians. They don't have shame, they don't have respect, and they have lost their dignity. This is a government that has lost its dignity. In the eyes of many Ghanaians and in the eyes of many people across the globe, they know our leadership is rubbish. It's not only rubbish, it's crude and it's cynical. They are lying to us and they are lying to themselves, they are lying to everybody. This is wrong. And we should have known this long ago. Some of us are not surprised at all because, honestly speaking, before Akufo-Addo took charge, some of us had investigated his background. We knew. My mom would say, this man, Oye Danaga. That this man, Oye Danaga. And people didn't listen. No one wanted to know, to listen to us. So, small, kanan, little by little, Akufo-Addo has found his way to the high office. And now look at him. He has messed up big time. And it's the Ghana that is suffering. As for he and his family, they are enjoying. Like someone said, that private jet up and down. Do you know what they were carrying? It's a question that will be answered one day. It is a question that will be answered one day. Yes, if you want to join me, join me. Stop stop asking me by text, WhatsApp. If you want to join to talk, join, I'll let you talk. See what I mean? So, as we speak, we have borrowed, and still Akufo-Addo wants to borrow. Ghanaians have been taxed and taxed and taxed and taxed. That's why I'm saying that the IMF, I don't understand I don't know what they want. Is it something there which is so bad that nobody wants to tell us Ghanaians? Because the taxes and the monies that the government is envisaging or has envisaged, the monies that the government has collected or will collect in future from these taxes, the pension that is frozen, the savings that is frozen, even some payments that the government itself should make, it's all frozen. So why is the IMF still not playing ball? And then, is there some serious issue that they don't want to tell us Ghanaians or what? Obineka was woman hwe ni yo na se say baby ayeti ni ye hu ni ye. We need a seat up. We have, if I can recall, we have the Germans. The Germans have been contacted. The British have been contacted. The French have been called in. The Paris Club we join. The AAU is helping. The Ghanaian community, the Ghanaian local people, their taxes, their pensions, and their community monies, everything is in this so that we will get IMF help. So with the French, with the British, with the Germans, Americans, a trip to China and back and everything, still we don't find a headway with the IMF. That means there's something somewhere that is wrong. And what is it that Ghanaians are not being told? What exactly is going on that Ghanaians are not being told? Because I don't know how much more taxes has to be designed with different names for the IMF to be satisfied. Maybe, just maybe, as trivial that it may sound, maybe just Akufo-Addo being bold enough to tell Ken Ofori-Atta enough is enough, go away. Maybe that will help. But here is the case, Akufo-Addo dare not sack Ken Ofori-Atta. Why? Because like my friend told me today, Mansa Musa, that trip with the private jet in and out, up and down, do you know what they carry? So do you know what they carry around when going to Caribbean, going to some European countries, via some other countries? What they carry in those private jets? And so Ofori-Atta is bungling, is messing everything up. He's completely failing. He's destroying Ghana economy, everything. And still, Akufo-Addo has to keep him because he does not dare. He does not dare because he never know who will come and take over. The one who will take over may not be may not want to be part of this smell, this rotten carcass of Ghana finances and economy. So that question, me too, I'm throwing it away, I'm throwing it on board. That those private jets flying in and out of Ghana, the presidential private jet, apart from the humans, do you know what it carried in and out of Ghana? The reasons why Ofori-Atta is untouchable, like Jose Mourinho, even Mourinho later in the end ended up being very touchable indeed. Akufo-Addo is immovable. To me, Sake Ofori-Atta, knowing very well that the guy, his presence, his presence anytime he goes to, he travels abroad to meet other dignitaries, to meet money people, they know. Omun himself be born, be a time. There's something going on not right. Akufo-Addo is not, in fact, Ken Ofori-Atta is not the man to be in charge of Ghana finances. Any other country on this planet, by now, he should have gone. The moment he announced we have to go to IMF, that was the time any country, any proper country would have sacked Ken Ofori-Atta. But like I'm saying, Ken Ofori-Atta cannot be sacked, will never be sacked. I don't think even if Akufo-Addo loses power, I think Ken Ofori-Atta will be made to stay at the finance ministry. Because when he leaves, whoever takes over, the things the fellow is going to see, maybe Obechari, he will bloody fall down and collapse. That question is lingering in my mind. A friend of mine casually said it today. And anytime it comes to my mind, I say, He said, Mansa Musa, look, the reason why Ken Ofori-Atta and the rest, some few people, they are untouchable, is that this commercial, the private jet, Akufo-Addo, they call do you know what they were carrying in and out? Nobody knows. So Ken Ofori-Atta must stay to keep the rot. The same rot that the Chinese people know, hey, something no good. The international, the IMF, we America stooges, but still, who say, and yet, the World Bank, Ken Ofori-Atta, and yet, Akufo-Addo say, So the story I was telling, that the parliamentarians, MPP parliamentarians, decided to act. They agitated, saying that Ken Ofori-Atta must go. Ken Ofori-Atta must go. Ladies and gentlemen, as we speak, is Ken Ofori-Atta gone? No. Look, in any country, if it was even the voices of non-governmental organizations and public accountability groups and pressure groups and some few opposition, Ofori-Atta would have gone. Let alone his own MPs. Majority of them, if you care to listen to people like, what's the name? Oseche Mensah-Bonsu. Majority of these NPP MPs wanted him gone. For some reason, Akufo-Addo invited these MPs. And whatever they were told, only God knows. Whether they were warned, they were told, they were cajoled, they were convinced, I don't know. Whatever they were told, they came back and gave us a public announcement, a public explanation. They came back to tell us that the president has promised that, Ofori-Atta has started a very nice IMF, what is it called? You can't say discussion or what? The IMF deal or the IMF negotiation, that's the word I'm looking for. So please, let's leave him to finish, then he will go. Then Ken Ofori-Atta is going on and on. That is the public pronouncement by the NPP MPs. The NPP MPs, that was their public pronouncement, that the president told them to hold on their fire, to hold on a bit, to wait for Ken Ofori-Atta to do everything nice with the IMF. Then after that, Ken Ofori-Atta will go. Since then, look at the taxes they have heaped on Ghanaians. Since then, look at the suffering, the inconvenience that has been put on ordinary Ghanaians. People who have done nothing but to just have their savings and their pensions and the rest locked in government equities. Well, if it was equity, now it isn't, is it? Since then, Ghanaians are toiling. We are all under pressure on the, I mean, how come that everything that was to be done properly has been turned upside down and still Ghanaians are quiet? Look at the Bank of Ghana. The Bank of Ghana apparently supposed not to help the government with not more than 5% of their previous spending. Not more than 5%. Today they said they are giving the government almost 20% of that. So in effect, printing money, printing cash for the government, which shouldn't be this. It's in the constitution, it's against it. Still, Akufo-Addo is doing, everybody is quiet. If the opposition, the NDC people raise their voices, they will be condemned. Not only in parliament, but the foolish outsiders who claim to be the professionals and the experts in these talks. Foolish people. A whole Bank of Ghana would defy the rules of the law, the rules of the game, would defy the constitution, do something wrong, and you have experts, so-called experts, going from one radio, from one television, one newspaper to the other, trying to convince Ghanaians to accept the unacceptable. Because it is a Akufo-Addo. Somebody told me, says, Mansa Musa, who's the yak for the Jimmy? Obi, your fro be nanadia, anywhere kra. You see? Obi di nana etwa obi di nso na chese wakuye kra. Someone we Jimmy, mo we Jimmy. Enu nti na ne America for to me free omu krom, omu bakoto car the VIP airport side no more line up yan security force ye search mu. Na security force amba ba omu nsem na omu ha mu na ye search omu. Ewo wa okrom. The whole Bank of Ghana is printing money, huge sums of money. You see, when the cedi was running, or the dollar was running, and the cedi was chased those days, you remember? Before Christmas, and the cedi was becoming lower and lower. What was happening was that this Bank of Ghana printed plenty of cedis, gave it to the same crooks in government and attached to the government to buy dollars. So they had plenty of cedis to buy dollars. And for that, the dollar was going higher and higher and higher. You see that the moment they were able to use those cedis to buy the dollars from themselves, they stopped down the dollar. The whole thing has like leveled up. So they will come and tell us, oh, they've done well. You see that they have been able to control the cedi or cedi depreciation. It's always telling Ghanaians lies. And we have radio station, media system, media fraternity, newspaper, who are, most of them know that they are ignorant or they don't know what. They know what, but they are afraid. You will be sacked. The Akufo-Addo is so cynical. They will sack you. They will remove you. So they should all keep quiet for Akufo-Addo to do what they. And the annoying thing is, if Akufo-Addo, all what he's doing is making Ghana better, and when we see Kanifa and the Akano or the SEC industries, proper industries. We are talking about proper industry. This one district, one factory nonsense. Stop this deceiving yourselves. Why not the Chrome? 6 years, I see about 200 and something factories. And I still unemployment. I had the Chrome. A Chrome and Sona Bino and providing over 200 factories. And a product now, your crano, I have a asking products I keep. Your friends say, you produce your country, your Chrome. Where on earth does this happen? And you keep deceiving ourselves. You have people ready to come and tell you these bogus lies. Madam Viva studio where can be a bogus. When you come I'm a chimianry. What is all this for? What is all this for? You sit down, we sit down for some few people. Gabi ochire da ko chichire ne to se ekonwa so. Obeke kanisam no wa tweet or the Twitter to so. Ni wo for tu kwa ya no tiple no bi no mu di chini. Ubusan se djuba be no ya obi anim. And so imagine if it was any other person, any Aigbe man, any even if a fancy man, ombedi ni rough, say or sell mine or say sika. Let alone enough now. Any the omni bayo the okra the uni. It's time for us to wake up, all of us Ghanaians. Because the reason why, you see, I am worried is, with all what has happened, with all what we've done, the money is collected left, right, and center to assure IMF, if we are still not getting no headway, it means there's something wrong somewhere that we are not being told. It means there's something rotten seriously somewhere that we are not being told. And we have to find those answers. This thing that my friend asked me today, I will keep reminding you. He asked me, Mansa Musa, have you thought of this? You remember this private jet up and down, up and down, up and down. Apart from the human beings, what do you think those private jet was carrying? Private jet is a private jet. It just lands in some obscure airport, or even if it's the main airport, a special place. It's a president jet. So no searching, nothing. Do you know what they were taking out of the country or what they bring in? So that is the question that a friend of mine just threw at me. I'm also throwing it at you. And I'm asking, why do you think the IMF is so difficult with Ghana? Why is it that upon all the effort, upon all the squeezing of every little money that Ghanaians have to help this government, whether we like it or not, why is it that the IMF is still very adamant? Can anyone please help me understand this? Why is the IMF treating Ghana with such hard fist? Despite the efforts, despite the taxes, despite the seizure of people's pension and savings, despite the moratorium or government not to pay certain debts, despite the support from the French, from the Paris Club, from the British, from the Americans themselves, from the Germans, a trip to China and back, and still IMF said no, 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 no. So can anyone tell us why is IMF so hard-fisted?